Go to our guest here today. I had the pleasure of meeting this individual actually through the phone, but actually I was made aware of what she was doing through, I think it was through Spectrum. They had like a little news report, or was it Ken's? I don't remember.
I think it was Ken's.
Ken's, right?
Ken's that I was initially on, and then I was on Spectrum as well.
Okay, yeah. And that's kind of where I found, what you're doing, and it really, I really love when, people, individuals are starting something kind of grassroots, right? It's kind of just starting with an idea or something that, I'm always interested in what was it that got you going, or what was it that actually moved you to do what you're doing. And so I'm pleased to have with us today Lotus Rios and also Marissa Gutierrez. They are with the Harlandale Sunshine Pantry. Is that correct? I think I got that.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for joining us. Say hello to the people that are out there listening right now.
Thank you for having us on. Thank you for having us on.
Hi, y'all.
Hi.
Thank you for having us.
Well, thank you for being here. First time on the radio?
Yes.
Okay, well, great. Oh, no, well, maybe not you?
Maybe I've been on a few Let's Plays, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, welcome anyway. I thank you for being here again. Like I said, I saw your story on the TV, right, on the news reports, and it really, like I said, I'm always looking for stories like that because it kind of touches home, because that's kind of how we started, basically with nothing, and seeing the need, and especially here on the west side, which we're located here on the west side, and knowing that there's so much that needs to be done, or the needs of the people that are here. And a lot of people don't know, and I do make this a point because people need to know about this, that several decades ago they did a study here on the 7207 zip code, and they came back after the reports. They said that this zip code was the most impoverished zip code in the nation. And it was not just the city or the county, which I was thinking, well, maybe the city or the county. He goes, no, through the nation, because of per capita, the people that lived here, the monthly income was, I think, something like $1,400 or $1,200, something like that, for a family of four. So this is where we're at. This is where we serve, and we see the need that's there, just like I'm sure you saw the need where you're at, because you're located on the south side, which I grew up on the south side, so I'm kind of familiar with that as well. But give us a little background. Well, first of all, let us know who you are, or anything maybe the listeners may want to know about who you are or where you're coming from.
Well, my name is Lotus Rios, and I actually was born and raised on the south side. So we have a pantry that's here near in the Harlandale district.
Right.
And the pantry is available 24/7. It has a fridge. It has shelving. We offer clothes. We offer fresh fruit, dry goods. I mean, basically anything that a person would need.
Hey, Lodi. I think they want to know about you, though, first.
Oh, about me?
Just you as the
Sorry.
individual.
No, that's fine. I mean, that we established a little base there.
Sorry. I grew up on the south side, and I do other things too. I paint and I draw, and then I'm an artist. And I really saw a need. I think all of our life we've kind of seen this. We were raised in basically it was like a 1-bedroom house.
It's a 500 square foot house for 5 people.
Yeah. And we went through some things as when we were younger, and we our parents both worked, but there was just never enough sometimes. Mm-hmm. And we saw so many people even in our neighborhood struggle. And as I grew up, it is just, unfortunately, the south side is filled with these pockets.
Right.
And as I grew older, I went through some things. I went through some difficult times, and I couldn't provide for my family, and I fell into a lot of hard places myself. Mm-hmm. And these people that would help me, I can't, my sister, my family, but other people that helped me get out, the people that gave me the resources, helped me to feed my kids, I could never repay them. So I'd always try to just pay it forward.
Right, give back.
And when I could, I did. And as I, as it came into the pandemic, I saw more and more. It was there before. And in my neighborhood, I could see so many families struggling. And even before we started doing this, we would still, me and Marissa, we would still do and try to help as many as we could.
Right.
So it just spoke to me one day, like, hey, I had a stroke in 2020. I had a stroke in August. And even without being able to talk, I could see my son. During that time when I had the stroke, I was watching my son, and this idea just popped in my head. He was eating and he was healthy. And I was always thinking about, there's someone out there who's not having that opportunity, like my son. And I don't know how I communicated to Marissa and to another co-founder, Belinda Hernandez. I communicated to them, like, I couldn't talk. It was very jarbled. And to my daughter, I think we should do this. And we started doing it. We started, before the pantry, we started handing out boxes of produce out of the back of my truck. And she would drive because I couldn't drive yet. I was still in the stroke
boat.
So
you would go to different areas throughout your neighborhood there just to give out the food, or specifically to certain people that you knew needed?
People that would reach out, typically, or we just kind of do like a word of mouth thing, where someone would be like, hey, just for an example, not to, I guess, highlight anyone's personal struggle, but for example, someone would come up to us and be like, hey, my sister is going through like a divorce, and her and the kids a single income in that household. She's working full time. She needs a little help with food, and we'd be like, okay, cool. We got a box, and we just go drop it off, or sometimes they'd even pick it up.
We had a lot of people come to where the pantry is located, is my house. And so we had a lot of people. We would just open up the back of the truck, and we would just have people, if you need some, come on Tuesday, come on Thursday, we'll have it here. And we didn't take any sign up. We didn't take any kind of information.
There's no barriers to using, to I guess, gathering food or resources from our pantry. We do not take down any information. We do not take down your income level, residency status, anything like that. So there's no barrier to using the pantry.
Right.
So
hunger is hunger, right?
Yeah, but if you have a need, there is the pantry for you. So for those who are suffering from, who are experiencing mental illness or illnesses, disorders, there's no one there either watching you over your shoulder. There's no one, occasionally we will be in there to clean it, but we're not going to be, I guess, taking note or documenting or, anything that might cause a little bit of anxiety
or discouragement.
Or discourage the individual from using the pantry. So.
Yeah. And again, I understand, sometimes certain organization may need to do that. They need to take numbers.
Of course.
Because, they're dealing with grants. And a lot of times, like I tell people, it's like, well, why do they need this? Because they need to know how many people they're serving so they can get, grants back again. So I understand that point. But then again, like you said, there's some people that are like, well, I don't want to give all my information. I want to do this. And yet they'll won't go to pick up the food just because of that. And they're still hungry.
Yeah.
And so what you're doing is like, okay, hey, just come as you are. This is it right here. Whatever we have is yours. And so that's a great thing. And that's what really, like I said, touched me, because it's a grassroots thing, right? It's like, it's not like you have a lot of money, but I tell people, I said, just do what you can do. I mean, if you help one or two, you help people that are in need.
It's definitely a labor of love. All this it stems from the love that we have. We make the connections with our families, and it develops community. So definitely, we don't make money from it, but we know that we're helping someone else. When I was in it, being able to have just cake, or just being able to have enough to last us till the next day. Man, that changed my whole attitude.
Sure.
It gave me hope. And that's what I hope that I'm hoping we're doing is giving people hope that tomorrow's going to be a better day. And people don't see how enormous just having food in your stomach or available to your children can change your whole mental state.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We're partnered up with the Edgewood Police Department, and they would tell me, because we would, like, from the food, they would say, hey, we have a family that we just ran into, because they have to go check why the kids aren't coming to school. And they're the first ones that are there to see, okay, what are you dealing with? And Chief Quiroga, which I had him here last week, I think, here, doing an interview, would tell me, he says, a lot of times it's like, well, we don't send them because we don't have food. We don't send them because we don't have shoes for them. We don't have a jacket. And it does affect, the science tells you that not eating well, especially the kids growing up, affects their mental side of development.
Yep.
And so it's very important to be able for them, just the kids alone, to have that so they can be able to grow properly to begin with.
Yeah. I mean, even with my own experience, my son, he was having issues, and this is, a long time ago, but this is why I do what I do, because can't repay those people. But they saw that he was struggling in school, and unfortunately, during the time I couldn't afford some shoes. And his teacher, she saw that he was struggling, and he was wearing, I think, my older son's shoes, and he was just working with them. And when they gave him the shoes, the teacher in his classroom saw that he needed shoes that actually properly fitted him. His whole character changed.
Right.
And I mean, it brought me to tears, because I really was trying my best and it wasn't working. So, if I would have had this, too, like having those people that helped me, I see where it changed my life. And that's where, like for instance, with my son in his shoes, I know that changed his life, seeing it. And then now we're able to help others. And we're hoping that we can do the same.
Right. Every little impact that we're able to make in a person's life, you never know. I mean, I get people that come back to me and say, hey, and because of what you did, and this is not to raise my collar up or anything, but it sometimes you don't even know that these things are happening because they don't. I mean, I'm not there to see, okay, let me see what I'm doing or look at me. But these people that you are helping or impacting, believe me, like you said, are making differences in their lives, enough maybe to get them going, to say, hey, you gave me a little hope, or you get me back on my feet, and I'm prospering now, because like a lot of the partners that we have, they have schooling opportunities or whatever the case may be, for us to be able to connect them to say, okay, if you need food, well, let's get you food and then get you on that right track, to be able to empower you, to be able to achieve what maybe one of your goals is, to go to high school or finish high school or go to college. So any little thing we can do to help, sometimes we don't realize, but we are making an impact.
Well, I'm Marissa. I'm Lotus's little sister. I'm her younger sister. And to speak back on that thing where she was like, I don't know how we got started. It started with like a midnight phone call to the younger sister. And she was like, hey, do you know how to lay cement? And I was like, no, Jen. No, Lotus, I don't. No, Lodi, I don't know how to lay cement. She was like, cool. Tomorrow you're going to come over and we're going to lay cement. And I was like, interesting.
Very interesting. You had to get a phone call to see if you know how to do cement.
Yeah, didn't know how to. So I looked up a YouTube video. We laid down the first foundation.
And several hangers later.
Not to pop my collar, but it was perfectly level for my first time laying down cement.
Hey, I've been to YouTube too many times to try to figure things out. Thank God for YouTube.
It's a great learning resource. But so we did that. We set up the pantry after receiving the seed funds from the Free Little Pantry Network. And they gave us a few supplies to start off our first few filled shelves. And after that, they were like, okay, well, we're going to give you like a little rundown of how to collect donations, how to, solicit donations from individuals, from organizations. And they were like, if you need any help, we already have connections. And it was just really leaning heavily on Lodi and our other co-founder, Belinda, who is not as active in the leadership roles anymore. But she is still a very big advocate, and she does donate and volunteer still. But at the time, it was just Lodi and Belinda, and I was just the little sister that was just being like, "Hey guys, I want to play with you."
or the building side of it, right?
I guess I was the muscle in the.
There you go.
Definitely
brawn
the
and the
muscle.
muscle.
She's got the muscle. She does. Look at those arms. Those are
Well,
muscle
they're young.
arms.
She's young, so yeah, they're more capable and equipped.
Mine, but yeah, definitely.
And so, I guess a little bit about me is, my family's been in volunteering. Our family's been in volunteering for causes since I was very, very young. Some of my very first volunteer experiences were at the Raul Jimenez Thanksgiving dinner.
Okay.
And then the Feast of Sharing from HEB also were one of my very few volunteer opportunities. And we've just kind of always just been out there, donating our time through organizations, not on our own. So it would only seem after 3 decades of volunteering for other organizations that this is where this would lead, which is a really big step, and it's a really awesome one because I never thought I could be part of something this, I guess, involved in the community, like directly,
Right.
Not just, on a peripheral sense from the organizations, me going to an organization. I never had ever imagined that I would be here with my sister, attempting to make a positive impact in our communities. Because although we are from the Southside, the pantry is located on the Southside. We've gone to Uvalde, we've gone to Bernie, Shirts, Cibolo, Live Oak.
You go out and meet the need where it's at.
Yes. And we typically try to keep most of our outreach and activities and donations in the community, but we are never ones to turn people away. Right. If we have the means, we're going to share it with others. It doesn't matter if they're from San Antonio or not.
Right.
We even had a family reach out 2 years ago from California.
Oh yeah.
And we were like, if we could, we would, but we wouldn't know how to get our stuff.
The food out there. Not yet anyway, right?
Not yet.
That could
Not
be
yet.
coming down the line, but no, absolutely. Really quick before we come to the end, we have about 4 or 5 minutes. If somebody's listening right now, and and I know that there's so many out there, especially because of the way things have been, after the pandemic and all that. Maybe they live in the South Side, because I know from what you're telling me is that you make contacts throughout wherever there may be a need. But I know specifically you are on the South Side in the Harlandale district, I'm assuming. Where can they go to maybe get food, or maybe one of the most important things is maybe even donate food, because I know there's always a need for donations, right? Where can they go? Where can they contact you if you have a social media out there, wherever it is that they can make that connection?
Fantastic. So we are on Facebook and Instagram under the Harlandale Sunshine Pantry. You can look us up there. We do DMs from there. We also have 2 telephone numbers that are linked to us. For me, Marissa Gutierrez, it is 210-628-9134. And that is in case, they need to reach out either to drop off a donation or if they'd like. We try not to, it's very hard on us if we have to be driving around the whole city.
Sure.
I work. Lotus is very busy, and then also, it's very hard on us to try and gather these resources. So we do push for people to drop it off, and we do push them to drop it off at 935 Drury Lane. That is Drury Lane, San Antonio, Texas, 78221. That is the physical address of the pantry itself, as well as the donation location. Okay. We also have another donation location located at #Vegan Eats SA. Lotus is going to grab that address. It is on South Lotus. That is a vegan restaurant, and that pantry itself is available during the business hours of #Vegan. And
do you all have like a box there or something where they can come drop in? Or
it's actually a really wonderfully made shelf. It has our logo.
Oh wow!
It's really beautiful, and I will announce that is a strictly vegan donation location site. So that tailors to that dietary lifestyle.
More specifically.
Yeah, more specifically. And the main pantry on the 935 Drury Lane, it takes everything, all dietary restrictions, all lifestyles. That one is the one where, if you have certain items that are not considered vegan or vegetarian, you can still donate them there.
And just to make a point really quick, because we know since we do have a food pantry here, if you're going to donate something, don't donate something that's been in your your food pantry shelf for about 4 years. Okay, nobody wants to eat something that's already and especially if you're giving it away because you just want to get rid of it. Mm-hmm. Make sure it's not expired yet. Okay, please. We just ask that because I know it does happen. I mean, sometimes we may not even think about it, right? We just think, oh well, I'm not going to eat that. But it's always good to have things that you would eat if you're going to donate something.
Yes, that is an excellent point.
You.
Yes.
For hash, it's the location is 5007 South Lotus Street, San Antonio, Texas 78214. So that's where our other satellite pantry is located.
Okay, and I know, like I've always said, before, because I'm taking from experience from where we're at, right? I know sometimes maybe you can go and give donations or a physical donation, right, as far as food. But, you can help just as important by donating money as well, right? Mm-hmm. So are these the social media or the food?
We have our Cash App and our Venmo on those social medias, so it's available to them if they want to make a donation.
Okay, so that's another way. Sometimes we think, well, like I don't have time to go drop off food or this and that. Hey, the easiest way is do money, and they can go purchase what you may need.
Every penny counts.
Exactly.
Yes, definitely.
So we have about maybe 20 seconds, 30 seconds, anything else?
We're having our fundraiser. Check out our Facebook page for our fundraiser for the holiday, the winter holiday and Thanksgiving holiday, Marissa.
Yep, that's about it.
And check it out on Facebook. Come and support us. It's for a great holiday.
Facebook and Instagram, y'all.
Yes.
There you go. So if you want more information, go to their social media. Marissa and Lotus, thank you so much for taking time to come here. I love what you're doing. Continued blessings. And people, let's get out there and help, because whatever you do comes back to you sometimes in so many different ways. Mm-hmm. So we'll be back here again next week.